All right, what's up, guys? As you know, I am a avid fan of Planetside. I used to play it nonstop. Like I have over 1,000 hours, like 1,500, 2,000. I don't know. I haven't checked. It's many days of playing, and I was at one point number one on the server that I was at, and that was the Soltech server back in the day. Back in like the first 4 months of playing or something like that. I played it a lot. So basically, I haven't played as much, and there's some reasons behind that. But there was a recent patch, and we're going to take a look at that. So this patch came out just yesterday, and there was, I guess, two major patches that I would say were probably the best patches ever for Planetside. First of all, definitely the giant enhancement. How do you say the one that makes the performance enhancement. So they basically made everything more efficient, made it so that it wasn't as CPU reliant, and my frames per second, especially when recording video, went up by like on average probably 20 frames per second. So it made it a lot easier to record video, and that came out like a couple months ago, back in December, I think. So that was a major patch, and I don't know how they didn't apply that patch before. That should have been priority number one in my opinion for Planetside 2, but the developers didn't really focus on that. They instead made other things, and I don't know. They definitely made improvements to the gameplay. Like the render distance used to be horrible when Planetside 2 first came out, so sniping was really terrible, and they made a lot of improvements, and they're constantly improving it. And so along with that, there did a fairly substantial patch just recently, and this patch basically it changes how squads function dramatically, and there's not that many changes in terms of like weapons or like balance issues, like changing vehicles do this then do that, and nothing like that. It has all to do with the squad and improving squad cohesiveness, and I think this is probably one of the biggest changes to Planetside. Like I feel like oftentimes playing with the squad is not that rewarding. It's just like you're just kind of jumping around with a group of people unless you have like really know them, and like when you're in an outfit, it's way better. But the thing is, having a Sunderer is required, and it's really slow. And so when you're in a squad, you're moving extremely slowly, and like to be able to move from base to base, you have to have that Sunderer. Well, not anymore. Basically, you can now spawn inside of vehicles. So in an effort to encourage squad cohesiveness and increase available spawn options, we are adding the ability to spawn in squad-owned transport vehicles. Vehicle spawning is now limited to galaxies and sunderers that are occupied and owned by squad members. So basically, galaxies now can like be a mobile squad spawning location. So I think galaxies are going to be used tremendously more often. I think that's going to improve the tempo of Planetside 2. It's going to make squads a lot more mobile, since galaxies are going to be a lot more popular. It's also going to increase the importance of air-to-air. So like reavers and mosquitoes and scythes are going to become a lot more important, because basically galaxies are going to become the primary means of transport for a squad rather than a sunderer. At least in my opinion, they will probably be. That'll also make galaxy pilots more important. Now it says squad-owned transport vehicles, so I think that probably means that you could use I don't know, like buggies, and maybe can people spawn on an ATV? I don't know, like I know in Battlefield 4 you can spawn on whatever vehicle that your squad owns. So if they're doing just a random tank or like in a helicopter, you can like literally spawn inside the helicopter and then drop out with a parachute. And I think that's the idea of it. So maybe you can even use like liberators. Have a liberator flying over, and you just have the tail gunner spot empty, and people spawn into it and then drop. I don't know if that's a thing. I think that would be cool. I'm gonna go ahead and play some more Planetside tonight, and kind of check out this patch, and I'll kind of give more feedback later on. Maybe update this with an annotation. But not very many other changes. Vehicle deploy bonuses, and this actually couples well with the spawn deploy. But basically now you get 50 XP per kill that they get when they deploy from your vehicle and kill an enemy. And I'm not sure how long. It's not very long that you have for them to kill an enemy. Like they deploy, and I think they need to get kills within like a minute or 30 seconds or something like that. But when you're doing like an intense squad deploy action, I think this could actually be really important, or like this will really help buff up like those galaxy pilots that are going to be now spawning lots of people and dropping them constantly over the war zones. So I think this is a really good change, and this honestly needed to be changed a lot sooner. That like there's some things in Planetside 2 that you're like, why did this take so long to change? And this is, I think, one of them. Like I've been saying for a long time that I think galaxies need to have the ability to spawn at them in midair, and I think personally that it would be really good for like a galaxy to be able to spawn people midair, but have it be limited to like a certain number of people, and then you had to reload, like almost like an ammo. So like you could do 10 spawns and then you had to go reload at an ammo station, or 20 spawns or whatever, and it would be like upgradable. But yeah, so I think that is really good. Really good changes overall, and I'm excited to see how this does. And so just fixing more crash fixes, and I don't know if this is really the best patch ever, but I think it's a really good step in the right direction. And if you haven't checked out Planetside 2 recently, I know I've got a lot of Planetside 2 players that follow this channel, and if you haven't checked out Planetside 2, especially since they made the patch where the patch everything was more efficient, you should definitely go check out the seeing how your computer handles the game now, and I think it's a lot more enjoyable when you have higher frame rates and all that stuff. So that's it for this patch video. Let me know if you have anything that you want me to do videos on, games that you want me to try out, play. Hearthstone. If you're a Hearthstone player, let me know what decks you might want me to try out, what heroes you want to learn in Dota 2. I'm going to be making a lot of videos. I recently got some better software that enables me to make more videos, and it doesn't take hours to do one video anymore. It only takes a half hour or an hour at tops to do a single video now. So it's a much better system. So without further ado, that's it for this video, and I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys soon.